Dr. David Hawkins from the Marriage Recovery Center, and this is really exciting because we're now pairing a video with the article that I'm writing, and this one is on dealing with the crazy makers in your life. And we've all got a story to tell. We've all got someone in our life, a friend, a family member, a mate, who is a crazy maker. And how do we know that they're a crazy maker? Because they have certain qualities. You know, they bring unpredictability into our life, which leads to chaos. This chaos, or they've been called storm centers. They come into the room, and by virtue of their character, they just create an unsettling quality. And you are knocked off center. In fact, if you live life off center, probably got a crazy maker in your life. So not only are we going to talk about crazy making, we're going to boil it even more down to what are the qualities in a crazy maker. I want to list a few of them right now, and then we're going to talk about 5 different kinds of crazy makers in the following weeks. But they are unpredictable. They bring chaos into our lives. They want everything to be about them. You know, when we make a request of them, not going to happen. They are demanding. They are self-centered. Oftentimes they're very immature. We make requests of them. We ask them to take responsibility for their actions. Not going to happen. They're not going to take responsibility. In fact, worse than that, not only will they not take responsibility, but they will do what I call the switcheroo, where it's not about them anymore. It's about you. So they make you the focus of the problem, and they play the victim. So playing the victim, chaos creators, storm centers, unpredictability, these are all qualities of crazy makers. Now what we're going to do in the following weeks, though, is we're going to zero in even more on 5 different kinds of crazy makers that I talk about in dealing with the crazy makers in your life. And there are 5 different ones. I think there's many more than that. And sometimes they're sort of a hybrid of the 2 or 3. So you can have an enmeshment of different characters, and then you've really got trouble. But the 5 different ones that I'm going to talk about is, first of all, the aggressor. You know the aggressor. They are going to have things their way. They are the bully on the playground. They kick dirt in your face. They're demanding. They are pushy. And boy, you feel their pushiness. I work with a number of aggressive people in my practice. And boy, even when they walk into the room and they sit down, it's just going to be their way. And maybe you're married to one of those. Maybe you know one of those. And you just feel the weight of their position. You know, they take a stance, and there you go. Another one is the egotist. The egotist isn't quite so pushy, but boy, oh boy, their ego takes up the entire room. It's all about them and what they've done, and they're charming, and they live life large. It is just all about them, and if you're not careful, what will happen to you is you will shrink because of their largeness. The third type is the sufferer. You know the sufferer. Nothing can be done to please them. They're a day late and a dollar short. And life is troubling, and they just can't be helped, and you try to help them and you can't help them. Fourth one is the borderline personality. The borderline lives life on a rock and roll roller coaster, and you got to throw your hat into the house before you walk in, or you don't know what you're going to face. Often it's a female, not necessarily. So the borderline personality has this very volatile personality, volatile moods. We're going to talk about what you do with them. And finally, the control freak. Control freak. Boy, they have life all lined up, and this is the way it ought to be. There is a right and a wrong way of living. There is a good and a bad. Everything is moral. Everything is righteous indignation. And man, if you're not careful, you're going to get caught in their web, and again, you're going to be paralyzed. Now, the cool thing, what we're going to move into doing is we're going to talk about solutions. So we're going to talk about how to not bite on the bait of the aggressor, the egotist, the sufferer, the control freak, the borderline. So I want you to stay tuned, watch for these videos, watch for these articles. It's going to be exciting. I'm Dr. David Hawkins from the Marriage Recovery Center.